Hello friends, my name is Mulham Yadav, and in this video I'm going to show you CRUD operation in a very famous or most popular NoSQL DB like MongoDB, which store data in a flexible JSON-like document. It means fields can vary from document to document and data structure can be changed over time. So like in RDBMS, we create data structure, I mean table structure before storing data, right? So we have the fixed column type and the number of columns in one table. But here, like in one row, we store one document, which is just like a JSON object. So the structure of JSON object may vary from your row to row, or you can say document to document. So I will show you that CRUD operation in MongoDB using Spring Boot, right? So let's create one Spring Boot project, or before that, uh, MongoDB should be installed in your system. Just you can open MongoDB and you can go to software, and this is a free server. Just open, and from here you can select your version number, which is current version, and your platform like your operating system. You are using Linux or Ubuntu or Mac, or if you are using Windows. So just you can simply download and install this server in your system. And the next thing, after installing, if you want to see in the graphical way, like if you want to communicate with your MongoDB database, then you can install one client UI, this Compass. Like when we are installing MySQL, so we have MySQL Workbench, like we have SQL Server, MS SQL Server. So in the same way, we have Compass. We can install and we can perform some query operation, or we can create documents, we can create database, or whatever we want. Okay, so now it is installed in my system. I want to show you. I can open this Compass, and it will connect to MongoDB, which is installed in my system. So this is just GUI to connect that MongoDB server in my system. Then we have to create one connection. Go to new connection and paste here URL for your MongoDB server. And that may be if you have any remote server running on cloud system or any other machine. So we can pass here the address of that machine. And if it is running in my system or local system, just you can write MongoDB colon double slash hostname and port number. So by default port number is 27017. That's it, and you can click here to connect. So it is now connected. So we can see we are getting some by default database like admin, config, and local. So we can create database. So database in RDBMS and database in MongoDB, you can say are same. Okay, which is like in RDBMS we have database collection of table, and here the collection of documents, right? So the collection of indexes, documents, and many things. Like in RDBMS we have indexes or tables, view, trigger, procedure, functions, everything. In the same way we have database here. So let's create one database. Name of the database, just I'm writing here, students DB. And in one database there must be at least one collection. Okay, so just I'm write just add here students. Okay, and create database. Now one student DB database is created. If you click here, we can see here student is a collection. Sorry, student is yeah, it is a collection. Collection means here it is one table. Okay, so you can say collection is table and document is row. So if you add any data, that is one document, or that is one row in RDBMS. So if you want to add any data, we can import if we have any file with a JSON object, or we can insert directly here. And but we will create one API using Spring Boot, and through that API we will insert data in this MongoDB database. Okay, so let's create one project here. Go to new, other, and select here Spring Starter. In Spring Starter we have many options here to select. The first one is Spring Boot MongoDB application name, and I want to use Java 8, and we can use here something like mongo db example, and this is the group name, and let's just write the same package name. That's it. Then the next thing, click next, and here we have to select dependency. So I'm creating web application, web API, Spring Boot API. So just select Spring Web module, dependency, and the next thing, just select one MongoDB dependency. So we have three things here. Embedded MongoDB, just it is for testing, like it is in memory. We don't need to install anything extra in our system. So, and this one is only for reactive programming. So when we do reactive programming, then we'll see how to use this one. But here we are using our MongoDB normal. So we can just select this MongoDB and finish. Okay, so now it is downloading dependency, downloaded. So project is created now. Just start this project and see. We have added the MongoDB dependency. It means MongoDB data source will be created, and while creating it will try to connect our MongoDB server. So let's try to run this. So when we are adding a Spring Data JPA, and if we are not adding any information about database in our properties file, then we get exception, right? But in case of MongoDB, let's see what is happening. We are not getting. Now our application is started, and you can see it is connected, open connection. So you can see it is trying to connect on here localhost 27017. So by default it will try on the local host and port number, which is default port number. So we don't need to specify. That's why we are not getting any error. If you want to change this host name, or if you want to change this port number or URL, in that case we need to add in this property. So let's add once that URL, like spring.data mongodb URI. Okay, and let's write, uh, is it correct? Yes. So URI is mongodb colon local host 27017. That's it. And let's rerun. So we are seeing here something error. It is not able to connect on port number. This one, I think I did mistake here, 27. So you can understand. It means it is reading property from here. It's reading this URL. So if we pass 27017, which is correct. So now it will be connected. So if we just given the wrong port number, so it was not able to connect. Again, we are getting this one. Why? Because MongoDB database factory, it is not able to connect. Database name must not be empty in this case. Okay, so we have to pass database name. So previously you are not getting this exception, but I think it is now required. So spring.data.mongodb.database. So in our case we have created students underscore db. So in this case we will be not getting. Now it is connected and our application is start. So just I want to map one student class to that student collection. Okay, so let's create one class dot document. It means I want to bind this students collection to this student class, as we are doing to that entity table in the case of Spring Data JPA to one database table. In the same way, just write student enter, and we are writing entity name or table name. So in this case we have document. Okay, so in document just write the collection name. Collection name is equal to students. It means this student is now mapped to this collection student. So just write some property, private int id or private string name, private string branch, and private string phone. That's it. And let's write constructor and getter setter. So you can use here Lombok for this one. So I did not use because there should be Lombok installed in your system, and if you clone this project, so you may get that error. That's why I'm using this one. Okay, that's it. Now student table or student document is mapped to that student collect. So let's create one repository interface. Select here, and here repositories and student repository and finish, and just extend Mongo repository, and we have to pass here document type. We have mapped to student, and id is here integer in our case, so that's why we have to write integer. That's it. So we can see here its parent interfaces. We can see this save all student or find all with sorting. So we have many methods, iterable, everything, and pagination, and in pagination which extend to CRUD repository, right? So the implementation will be created at runtime for those method. Okay, so just write one controller here, and rest controller I'm going to write student controller, and in student controller just write one annotation, rest controller. That's it. And just I'm going to write one method to get all student list. So public response entity and list of student, get all student, and return. So before returning, just inject that student repository here. So private student repository, and just auto var this one. That's it. Now just call that method return response entity dot OK, and we have to pass here content. So student repository dot find all. That's it. So it will return the list of all student, and just write here mapping get mapping, and we have to write here what students, right? Again, to get one specific student, so it will return one student. Just write student. That's it. And get student. So it will take one path variable, integer id, and here in this case return dot find by id, and we have to pass id, but it will return, the return type of this method is optional, right? So we can add condition here like student is not found, and in that case we can throw exception, but just imagine, yes, I have data, just I can write get, and here I need to pass id, that's dynamic id. So everywhere we are writing this student, so what we can move this here on the class label, and that will be request mapping, and we can write student. So we don't need to write here. So by default the mapping for this method will be student, and just remove this one also. So mapping for this will be what, student slash id, and the next method to update student. Okay, so to update student, just create a student first. So public response entity, and it will return newly created student. So create student, and it will take object of student. Okay, so we will send JSON object. So we will take as a request body So it will be converted in a student object when we send JSON data. Okay, so just add one post mapping for this one, and here return response entity dot OK and student repository dot save, and we can pass the object of student. So it will create new student in that DB. Then next is to update student. So will be same. So we don't have update method in this one. Just change here first student update. So what I'm saying, there is no update method in repository, so we have to call save. If it is existing student, so just it will update its data. Okay, but we cannot make this post mapping. For update we can use put mapping. That's it. And here is the semicolon is missing. So insert update and select is done. Now let's write delete. So in delete we can return one string message here, string, because in delete function it will not return anything, it's a void. So we can prepare one standard what is called response. So for now just write here path variable integer id and student repository dot delete, and delete by id. So just passed id, so it will delete, return student deleted successful or whatever you want. That's it. And let's add one method delete mapping. Done. Now let's run this application. Now it is up now, and we cannot see. If you click here on the find, we are seeing empty collection. We can use either postman or we can use REST client. Okay, so here just try to call first one localhost 8080 slash student. That's it, and try to get. So we are getting empty. You can see we are getting empty data. So why? Because now it is calling this function and we are getting empty because there is no data. So let's call this create student. So we'll pass student information, student JSON object, and it will convert JSON data will pass, it will convert in student object, and it will save in that document. So just pass post request, go to body, and in body we have to pass. We don't have to. I missed one thing. Uh, this ID. Okay. Then the column is ID, and we have to pass something 100, and then we have three fields: name, branch, and phone. Let's click on send button, and we are getting here unsupported media type. Why? Because we have to select JSON data here. Okay, so just go to header and add one header content type is JSON format. That's it. Let's send. Now it is created. Let's add one more data and ID as 121 and click. Add one more data 3 and save. Now data is saved. Let's click on get, and it will return all students. If you want to check this in the browser, just or here, just come here and just click on find, and we should see here all document. Click on view, or in if you want to see in object format, so we can see in object, or if you want to see in the tabular format, so we can see in the tabular format that data, right? So we are able to insert that data. Now I want to get any specific student, so I have one endpoint, just pass 100 and click. Yes, we are able to get 100. And I want to edit, so I can send put request, go to body, and 103 I want to update one value. and send. So we're getting method is not allowed. We have to actually we don't have to pass this and send. Now it is updated. So if you want to see here, just find and we can see this complete name. Okay, so now I want to delete. So update is done, create student is done, and we are able to get all students, and we are able to get a specific student. Now I want to call this function to delete student. So just simply select here delete HTTP method and pass object as 103 and click here, and we are seeing something 405 method is not allowed. So method is not allowed. There is a problem I missed here. I I have to pass here one ID dynamically ID. So just rerun. Sorry for that. Yes. Now we can send and it will be deleted. Now we're getting a student deleted. So we can refresh this table and now we are seeing only one two data, right? So now we are perform now we are able to insert, update, delete, and select data from MongoDB uh, using this Spring Boot application there. And if you have any doubt or if you have any suggestion, please add in comment. And now that's it in this video. If you really like, so please subscribe and share with your friends. We will see in next video. Thank you very much for watching this video.